what is range anxiety? Well, range anxiety can be a very debilitating condition that electric car drivers can suffer from. Range anxiety can best be described as a sometimes debilitating condition of which some electric car drivers do suffer from, especially when they first get their vehicle. And let me tell you something, when I got this car the first week, the first 2-3 weeks, I was so nervous about battery life. As I got into the groove of it and started to drive the car longer and longer, it wasn't as big a deal. But when I do a trip or something, like a spontaneous trip, or if I go to drop somebody off, I get a little bit more and more nervous. Because one thing about electric cars, and electric cars especially in Las Vegas, is that we don't really have a built-up charging infrastructure. Yes, most of the casinos do have chargers on the strip and whatnot, but once you get further out, you can't really find that. Back to my topic of range anxiety, because what better time to talk about batteries running dead while I'm sitting in traffic, or moving very slowly in traffic. Well, looks like it's done. Dude, our traffic situations change out here as often as Florida's weather. Range anxiety can affect a new electric car driver in the sense that it's this intense fear of not making it to your destination or not making it back. And that all stems from, one, not knowing your car well enough, or two, having to take a spontaneous trip, or three, just getting your car. For me, the first week I had this car, I was so nervous to go anywhere. And I had never felt that feeling before. It was so bad that I was almost regretting buying this car. Now that's a huge thing to think about when you get a car like this, like an electric car, or a car, just an electric car. Because if you get a range extended EV like a Chevy Volt, you won't have this issue. You know that you have that backup of that gas engine. With pure electric cars like the Nissan LEAF, the Fiat 500e, the Smart EV, or ED, the Smart ED, that's a great name for a car. Jokes about erectile dysfunction. Anyway, or the Mitsubishi i-MiEV, or whatever other car you get, when you run out of battery power, you're stuck there for at least a couple hours to get enough juice to get going. It's not like a gas car, where if you're running low on gas, you can pull up to some gas station, fill up in 5 minutes and go. Granted, I think the technology it'll be at that point within a few decades, but it's not like that today. I wonder why everybody's driving so slow. To sum it up, yes, range anxiety does exist. Yes, it is a real thing, and range anxiety will be a whole new level of stress. It is extremely stressful to think you might not make it to your destination. Think about driving on a long road trip and not knowing if you'll make it to the next gas station. That's what range anxiety feels like. And depending on the kind of person you are, you might experience it for the first week of owning your new car. Now, I'm actually not going to do that because he's coming this lane. Did he use a turn signal? I doubt it, but hey. Nope, he did not. He's just fucking dumbass. One quick one. What a douchebag license plate. I'm a neurotic person, and yeah, I had bad range anxiety, but now that I've actually gotten to drive the car, that I've gotten to get used to this gauge. By the way, this range gauge in the Nissan LEAF will be the main cause of your range anxiety, and most of it's not really needed, because this battery indicated or recommended gauge or range gauge is the most bipolar gauge on the planet. Like, one moment it'll say you have 40 miles left, next moment when you get on a surface street, it'll say you have 60. I'm sure it's not that exaggerated, but still, it's a thing. You're much better off just using the actual bars of battery to indicate how far you got, and just to know your car. Once you drive your car for 2-3 weeks, you'll get used to it. You'll start to understand how it drives, how it does this, how it does all that. Let me get out of his thing. His blind spot, Mr. Baby on Board, giant sticker person. But once you get used to your car, range anxiety is not a big deal at all. Man, I must, I don't have my windows tinted right now. I must look like a massive idiot with a GoPro strapped to my head while driving quite possibly one of the least exciting cars on the road. But to me, this car is exciting. It makes me smile when I drive it. And for me, that's what being a car guy is about. If your car makes you smile, you're a car guy. So when you are getting your electric car, range anxiety, not a big deal. You'll get over it in a couple weeks, unless you have a really crazy long commute, in which case you'll probably experience it for a little bit longer. But once you and the car become close enough that you know that you won't be running out of battery going this distance, you'll be fine. It's no big deal. In most cases, you probably won't even run out of battery. I've owned this car for a couple weeks. I still haven't gotten to the point where I've gotten even close to running out of battery. Even when I go pick up a friend that's like a quintillion miles away and go to a store to help him run an errand, and then go to the opposite side of town to go watch a movie, which is the opposite side of his house too, and then go back to his house and then come back to my place, which is like literally it's the furthest arrangement you can get. I still have plenty of miles by the time I get home. Also, there's nothing to worry about. Yes, I am crazy. That's why they call me Crazy Motor Master.